What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those who don't know me, my name is Eric. Today we have a 2024 R1 in on the dyno. So today, guys, and I think I have made a video on this before, but today I'm going to show you what the actual air filter is going to do to the bike, okay? Normally, I don't really like to get mixed up in this game. I think it's kind of silly, to be honest with you, about the air filter. There's a lot of people on there that really preach air filter stuff. The differences are quite literally so minuscule. The differences are literally about a horsepower. 1 horsepower, that's it. So there's much bigger things out there to worry about than a damn air filter. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that out in the beginning of the video. There are much more larger items that you guys can do, other mods to worry about than getting caught up in the air filters, okay? Now, with that being said, on the R1s, it's a little bit different, okay? There are some modifications that you can do to the stock air filter or even an aftermarket air filter that you can throw in there that will make a big difference, okay? The R1s, along with some of the other Yamaha models, have a restrictor plate piece that's in the air filter, in the OEM one. So I'm gonna show you guys how much of a difference that will make physically on the dyno and what that means out there on the road, okay? So that's what this video is gonna entail. That's gonna be the target of this video. What we're gonna do, we're gonna baseline the bike really quick. It's stock with just a slip-on system here and a white pipe, so it's got a cat delete and a slip-on. We're gonna baseline it, I'll tune it like that, and then we'll swap this air filter out and I'll retune it so that you guys can see the exact differences of what the actual air filter makes by itself, okay? So with that, let's go ahead and fire this thing up. Let's do some baselines. Guys, so we got that 2024 R1. We have a base map in it. It baselined at 152 wheel, which is pretty low for these bikes, but it's not where you really start, it's how you end. So we want to keep that in your mind. This is a stock air filter in there, and like we said earlier in the video, it is very restrictive. So, you know, we put a base map in there. Let's kind of see where it does, see if it wakes it up. We did a handful of runs and literally the best we got was 152. So I'm kind of a little surprised by the lower number, but it is really hot right now. We're in the middle of May, getting near the end of May, and it's about 95 degrees. Let's see. Yep, it's 95 degrees and about 45% humidity. So it's pretty so. But anyway, all right, let's do some more runs. Let's see what this base map looks like and all that. Let's start getting this thing dialed in here with the stock air filter and see what we can do. Let's piss off our neighbors some more, yeah? So we've got the pump gas map figured out on the stock air filter. Now, a couple things. Normally I see a little bit more power than where we're at, okay? We got a few things going against us. One, it's hotter than Satan's nutsack in here. We were getting intake air temps, so IATs. We were getting IATs of about 110 degrees on the bike while we're driving it in this room, okay? The other thing is that the room itself, okay, I just want to show you guys. We are at 98 degrees. Now the humidity has dropped off a little bit. That's a good thing, but we are still at 98 degrees. I'm not making excuses. I just want to be transparent and kind of show you guys, you know, A, it's very hot in here, and B, the other thing on this bike is the oil level has been substantially overfilled, okay? Now, I don't have the room on the dyno to drain the oil out and stuff like that. To be honest with you, it's not going to make a difference as far as how the tuning goes, but it will make a difference on power, okay? The oil level is way too high on this bike. So as we're running the bike, the oil level is still in the middle of the window, meaning they're probably a good quarter of a quart to about a half a quart over what the oil level should be on this bike, okay? We're not talking about a small difference. We're talking about a massive difference, okay? So what's happening is the crankshaft is quite literally spinning in a pool of oil. It's not supposed to be. You're supposed to have some oil in the pan while you're driving it so that the pickup can still suck up fresh oil, and it, you know, it circulates kind of like in your body, you know, like your blood. So the oil circulates inside the engine, but in this case, there's so much excess oil. The crankshaft is literally spinning in this pool of oil, so it's dipping into the oil, which is gonna create a lot of unnecessary friction, a lot of unnecessary drag on the engine, okay? There is such a thing as too much oil. Guys, don't do it. You know, just fill it up to the window, get it in that top line, and send it, all right? You don't have to overfill it this much. It's a lot, okay? Even right now, we'll show you where the level's at now. Let's see, let's pull the panties to the side here. So notice, it is past the window, again, substantially. So while we're running the bike, it's still, like I said, the oil level is still about midway through. But with that, we'll show you guys the graphs here in just a second. We made about 171 wheels so far. We're gonna swap this air filter out and finish the tune and see where we end. So right now we got the tank all lifted up, everything's kind of up, so we're getting ready to get in there. Here's the stock air filter. This is what we're talking about, guys. So pretty sucky what they do, what Yamaha does. So but this is that reduction plate that I was talking about that they have on there. So we're gonna go ahead and take this out, and we got this K&N air filter we're gonna throw in there. I always find it kind of funny because everyone always wants to compare like Sprint with DNA, but there's also a bunch of other air filters out there. There's these K&N filters. Sorry, they just fired up one of the turbo bikes that we finished up, so we gotta throw that on the dyno next. But there's K&N, there's MWR, you know, there's all these other filters out there that work awesome also, guys. So don't get caught up in the debate between Sprint and DNA, all right? There's many more to choose from, and they all make good power too. Again, all you air filter freaking debaters out there, it's literally a horsepower difference. So we're gonna throw this K&N in there. We're gonna wake this thing up. So this particular bike will probably pick up. Now it's kind of hard to say because we have this issue with the oil, and we have this heat, but I'm guessing probably a good 3-wheel horsepower, 3 to 4 wheel will pick up doing this air filter swap. So we got the air filter installed. We're getting ready to start the bike back up. We're gonna warm it back up and do some pulls. Let's see how drastically, I'm just kind of curious, let's see how drastic the map is or what the graph looks like. Let's look at the air fuel. So for those of you who are changing your air filter and you have a tune done by us or by anybody, whoever, as long as the air fuel is kind of close, this is real live footage that you're gonna get, same day footage, okay? So it's not like the weather is drastically changing. We're gonna be in the same weather conditions. We're just gonna show you what the air fuel looks like with this change with the air filter, okay? So let's warm the bike up. I still haven't forgotten to show you guys the graphs. We're gonna show you guys the graphs. I just need to label them for you guys, but we have the tuned file, and then we have the baseline that we can overlay it with, and then now we'll have this new file with the K&N air filter, okay? All right, let's fire it up. so we got this 2024 R1 finally all wrapped up. And well, we're gonna go over the numbers, and like we stated earlier, you know, it is really hot. Humidity is actually okay, but it is really hot. And we were seeing intake temps at 113 degrees on the bike. Final number, we ended up basically at 175 wheel, which is, again, it's pretty low considering what all is done to this bike. It should be a little higher. Normally with these mods, I'm around 180, 181. But like we talked about earlier with the oil and the heat. Now the dyno does correct for some of this, but it doesn't correct for all of it. So ideally you want it at the perfect temperature year round, but hey, it is what it is. As we stated earlier, dynoed a little low, baseline at 152 with 69 pound-foot of torque. That was this green line here. We ended up making 171 with 74 pound-foot of torque with the stock air filter. So notice down low, we didn't really gain any with the K&N. It pretty much was the exact same. It was really, once we got into mid-range going into the upper RPM, we started to see a difference here. Now, admittedly, I did play around a little bit with ignition timing, not much. And there was a few other components that I tried to pull out to get a little bit more power. I changed the crossover. So notice with the stock air filter, it liked it where it was at. But when I left it at that same spot, we had a pretty big power loss with the new air filter, and then it picked up. So it had this dip and then it would pick up. So I did change that. It is a little bit, I should make this a little higher, honestly. We do have this little dip still. Ideally, I would want to move that up maybe another couple hundred RPM. But all in all, it's not a big deal. Still pretty good. It's very minimal differences that we're going to talk about here, guys. But you get the picture here with this air filter swap. So we actually ended up picking out, yeah, about 4-wheel, like I was estimating. This is what I normally see is about roughly a 4-wheel gain between getting that restrictor plate out and getting an aftermarket air filter in here. Let's see here. We picked up, yeah, another 4-wheel here. Pretty consistent with the 4-wheel gain. Once it starts to kind of pick up, same thing, 4-wheel gain here. So pretty damn consistent. Now again, it is because we have that restrictor plate, and that's what I was trying to tell you guys in the beginning. So let's pull up the conditions. I want to show you guys the conditions, all right? This is what we're dealing with. It was cooler, slightly cooler earlier this morning. Wow, 93, and that was at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So 93 degrees at 11 a.m. or so, 45% humidity. So notice this. This is what's interesting, guys. We had the same correction factor at 93 degrees with 45% humidity as we did with 97 degrees with 40% humidity. So slight drop in humidity and an increase in temperature. We have the same correction factor. So that's a little interesting to me. I'm not really sure what dictates the differences. This is all back-end math that's done on DynoJet's software. So just to let you know, nothing I can manipulate, not like some other dynos where they can actually manipulate the numbers. We are stuck. As long as we're in the same correction factor, these are the numbers. This is kind of why I like using DynoJet, and this is why a lot of DynoJets are used in this industry. They kind of make it a little easier for us as tuners because we aren't necessarily trying to tune the dyno and change the numbers because the dyno's not reading correctly. We are just worried about tuning the bike and getting the bike done, right? So we're not having to worry about chasing numbers on the dyno. We're just gonna look at the bike and at least we know we have a consistent readout with the dyno, right? All in all though, great power, I mean, great numbers. So, I mean, if we wanna take how he came in versus actually how he's leaving, let's just take 12.4 here, 12,400 RPM. He started at 151, he's leaving with 171. So 20 wheel gap here, which is substantial. Here we have a 15 wheel gap. Again, pretty damn substantial gains. Up top here, 147 to 173. Damn. So we got 30, what, 5, 6, 7, 36. 36 wheel gain here, which is monumental. This guy's gonna feel this shit. Oh my God, man, he's gonna feel it. Yeah, this is gonna wow him. So let's see where we're at here, 61, 88. So 88 to 90, basically 95 at a lower RPM at 7,500 here. So, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What is that, about 5, 6 wheel? Yeah, about 6 wheel gain there. Pretty substantial, guys. Very, very, very noticeable gains throughout this whole RPM band. this guy is definitely gonna feel the differences in this bike. It's gonna rip. So we're gonna get this thing outside, we're gonna clean it up. As you can see, it's got some smudges all in it. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe this bike down. With every ECU flash and dyno tune that we do, we always clean up the chain and sprocket, which I'm gonna do right now. And then we also do we wipe down the bike. So we kind of clean up the bike for you guys a little bit. So it's not like a full detail, but we try to give you guys at least a little something. And it smells good, it smells like cherries. So we try to give you guys something as you guys leave, little parting gift, if you will. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was also very entertaining for me to make. I hope it was very insightful for you guys. I hope you guys learned something on this bike. For those of you who aren't following along, please hit that subscribe button and like. Also share this. If someone, one of your friends, if they have an R1 and they just bought a new R1, share this video, show it to them, show them what they're missing out on, okay, with that air filter. So even if you guys aren't coming through us, show them that there's a restriction in the air filter that they can free up, and that there's power to be made. So also, if you guys are interested in a mail-in flash, we can provide this for you. So I usually recommend people go get dyno tuned or check it out on a dyno to make sure. But all in all, we are more than happy to provide a mail-in flash for you guys. Call us down below, 813-908-FAST. That's 813-908-3278. So give us a shout, or you can visit us on our website at www.provenpowercycles.com. All right, that's www.provenpowercycles.com. All right, we love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on another episode.